Good morning. Welcome to Daifukuji Soto Mission's Ryosoki and Autumn Ohigan service. My name is Momoka Io.
And my name is Yukino Sasaki.
And we are happy to be your MCs this morning. We will begin with the Ryosoki or Founders Memorial Service. The founders of our Soto Zen tradition are Zen Master Dogen and Zen Master Keizan. Looking at the main altar, you can see an image of Dogen Zenji in the alcove to the right of the Shakyamuni Buddha, and Keizan Zenji in the alcove to the to the left of the Shakyamuni Buddha. Their pictures are also on the scroll behind me. Dogen Zenji from 1200 to 1253 brought the Soto practice of Zen Buddhism to Japan in 1223 after his training and enlightenment in China. Keizan Zenji from 1268 to 1325 initiated the great social development of the Soto sect throughout Japan. Both teachers lived in the Kamakura period of the 13th century Japan and passed away in different years. Interestingly, on the same day, the 29th of September. During this month of September, we express our deepest gratitude to both of them.
The bivocal Plum Blossom Choir will now sing Sambo Goasam, or the Song of Three Treasures. Please rise when Reverend Jiko enters the hall. Please be seated. Next, we'll have the offering of flowers by the various temple organizations and the singing of Ohigan by the Baigaku choir. Representative of temple groups, please pick a flower outside on the porch when your name is called. Please enter the hall and place your flower in the vase, then offer a loose flower before returning to your seat. Representing the Daifukuji Program Board, Barbara Shoshin Laws. Representing the Fujian tribe, Susie Sian Weaver. Representing the Baikako, Michiko Enomoto. Representing the Zazenkai, Dai Hoji. Representing the Dharma Keiki, Oliver Spain and Makana Nakamura.
Please rise for the Bandhanati Sadhana, which is on your program or on page 17 of the Green Book. Please be seated. Reverend Jiko will now offer the Nenko Hogo, or Dharma words, followed by Sangha. 3 bows to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
We have gathered on this morning of September 14, 2025, at Daifukuji Soto Mission in Honolulu, Hawaii, to honor the 2 founders of Soto Zen Buddhism in Japan, Dogen Zenji, Kosojoyo Daishi, and Keizan Zenji, Taiso Josai Daishi. We're also observing the autumn Ohigan. We pay our deep respects to our departed loved ones and family ancestors, opening our hearts so pure and tender. We also reflect upon ourselves, our thoughts, words, and deeds. Guided by the 6 Paramitas, we strive for understanding, compassion, and wisdom, wishing to live our lives in peace and harmony with all beings in the universe. We will now chant the ancient wisdom scriptures, sing songs of the Dharma, and sit in meditation together as one sangha. May we unite spiritually and awaken to Buddhahood together with all beings. Namu Kie Butsu, Namu Kie Ho, Namu Kie So. We take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge in the Dharma, we take refuge in the Sangha.
We will now chant the Hanya Shingyo Sutra, which is on the back of your program.
In November of last year, Daifukuji's Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji sculptures were carefully packed in a crate and shipped to Honolulu, where they spent a couple of months in the workshop of Thor Minek, who specialized in the conservation and restoration of objects. It is unknown when the pieces came to a temple from Japan, but they obviously had been sitting in their respective alcoves on the main altar for many decades, becoming increasingly soiled and water-stained, and visible cracks in their paint and signs of damage. Reverend Jiko proposed to the board that they be cleaned and gently restored in the spirit of historic preservation, thinking that this would be a good way to show respect to Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji, who are the eminent ancestors of our Soto Zen tradition. It was indeed fortunate that Mr. Minnick agreed to come to Kona to conduct an on-site evaluation and to take on the time-consuming task of cleaning them at his workshop in Honolulu. Board member Terry G. Jen Hollowell helped greatly with the coordination of this project. Temple friend Albert Shiotsuka gave his time and service to not only pack the sculptures, but to also transport them to Kaiway Harbor. He also picked them up, donated shipping charges, and helped to unpack them when they returned. Mr. Tai Lake provided us with a crate and a replica of Hosu, Dharma Whisk, or one of the sculptures. We truly thank Mr. Minnick, Mr. Shiotsuka, Mr. Lake, Ms. Terry Jijen, and the Daifukuji board. We also thank you, our temple members and supporters, for our generous donation which sustain our temple and make such kinds of conservation projects possible. The Baigakko Plum Blossom Choir will now sing two Buddhist hymns about Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji. During this time, Reverend Jiko will be performing the blessing of the newly restored statues of Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji.
right here now. In observing this Ryosoki Founders Memorial Service, we have offered flowers, candlelight, and food. We dedicate the merits of this service to Sojo Daishi Dogen Zenji and Sojo Daishi Keizan Zenji. Together we pray for the peace of our world, the peace of our communities, and for the well-being of all Daifukuji members and friends. May this good karma be extended to all relations, and may we realize the Buddha way together. We will now be installing the Ohigan for the late Bishop Shugen Komagata. Coincidentally, Dogen Zenji, Keizan Zenji, and Bishop Komagata had all one day in common, September 29. While both Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji passed away on the 29th of September, Bishop Shugen Komagata was born on the 29th of September. The three of them shared a close connection in the Buddha Dharma. Deacon Jukai will now tell us about the late Bishop Shugen Komagata and her personal connection with him and Mrs. Komagata. She will also talk about the years that he served at Daifukuji and as Bishop of Hawaii Soto Mission.
Good morning.
Morning.
To share a little bit about Bishop Komagata. So at Daifukuji, our Ihaido, or memorial tablet alcove, is situated in the area to the left of the main altar. On these tiered shelves of the Ihaido are placed the memorial tablets of deceased ministers who served our temple, as well as memorial tablets for special services such as Memorial Day, Obon, and Ohigan. The late Reverend Shugen Komagata served as the 8th resident minister of our temple for 5 years, from 1976 to 1981. Together with his wife, the late Mrs. Faye Komagata, Komagata Sensei moved our sangha forward in new directions. Under their leadership, women were allowed to serve on the temple board for the first time in the temple's history. They put much energy into programs for youth, such as the Daifukuji Sunday School and the Young Buddhist Association. In 1981, Reverend and Mrs. Komagata and their 2 sons, Daishu and Shuji, moved to the Wahewa Ryosenji Soto Mission. In 2008, Reverend Komagata became the chief priest of the Soto Mission of Hawaii, leading our Hawaii Soto Zen sanghas as the 7th bishop of Hawaii Soto Mission until his passing on June 7th, 2024, at the age of 80. So on a personal note, after I graduated college in 2010, I was very fortunate to have been able to live with Bishop and Mrs. Komagata at the bishop's residence at the Soto Mission of Hawaii in Honolulu. During the 14 months that I was there, I worked for Mrs. Komagata at the Nuuanu Kumon Center, as well as studied Baika at all 4 Oahu temples, and practiced with Hawaii Matsuri Taiko and Somei Taiko with her. Also at the Soto Mission Hawaii, I also first joined the Fujinkai of Betzeling, because Mrs. Komagata, who is the leader of the Jizoku-kai and UHSSWA, needed a recruiting secretary, so that's how I got recruited. Okay, so I got volunteer, basically. I joined Daifukuji Fujinkai when I moved back to Kona, and a year and a half later. But at the same time, I was still in the middle of my training and practicing to become a deacon, so it's definitely an opportunity for me to train under Bishop and the other Soto Mission of Hawaii ministers. Being a trainee, I needed all the help I could get. I went to morning service with Bishop every day except Sundays, because I assisted with Sunday major services, but did the little things like densho or ringing the bell before the service. They both became my Hanai parents while I was there, and I'm eternally grateful that they took me in despite their busy lifestyle. Then, on certain evenings during the week, I would snuggle up with Kimi, their golden retriever, and Bishop and I would watch the weekly episodes of Japanese taiga dramas, which were usually about the feudal samurai era. I always cried when one of the main characters dies, and Bishop had to comfort me. I remember calling home the next day on my little dinosaur phone to tell Mom that I cried in front of Bishop again. It was a little embarrassing, but those are some of the little moments with the Komagatas I will always treasure. I'll especially miss Bishop's warm hugs whenever I saw him after moving back to Kona. So today it is with great respect and much love and gratitude in our hearts that we, as a sangha, place Bishop Shugen's memorial tablet in Daifukuji's memorial alcove. May we remember always his warmth, kindness, and unwavering compassion, as well as his unparalleled devotion to the three treasures and to promoting and sustaining Soto Zen Buddhism in Hawaii. Reverend Jiko and I will be reciting the sutra Sharirai Mon as Reverend Jiko carries Bishop Komagata's memorial tablet from the main altar and places it in the Ihai-do. Please know that whenever you would like to pay your respects to the past deceased ministers of Daifukuji, you may do so by visiting the memorial alcove and placing your palms together in gassho. Please stand if you are able. Everyone, please place your hands in gassho. Sharirai mo many forms. All sentient beings are awakened and brought to great peace. We sincerely seek the beneficent guidance of the three treasures. On this occasion of the installment of Bishop Shugen Komagata's memorial tablet, we have recited the Sutra Shariraimon and offered flowers, candlelight, and food. We offer the merit generated thereby to the 8th Minister of Daifukuji Soto Mission, Bishop Shugen Komagata, Uzan Shugen Daifukuji Zenji, to whom we express our deepest gratitude. We humbly pray that within the current of birth and death, that he shall be as a lustrous pearl shimmering in the vast sea, and that on the shore of Nirvana he shall be as a moon shining in the azure sky. May all beings be guided by the Buddha's teachings and awaken to deep wisdom, and may we in our wholeness realize the way of the Buddha together.
Please be seated. We will now begin the Ohigan service. Ohigan is observed twice a year, once in spring and again in autumn, when the temperature is neither too cold or none too hot. Therefore, it is said to be the best time to practice the way of the Buddha and to cross over from this shore of delusion and suffering to the shore of enlightenment or nirvana. To do this, we must wholeheartedly practice the 6 spiritual perfections called the 6 Paramitas. The 6 perfections of the heart are dana, the practice of generosity; sila, the practice of observing and precepts; shanti, the practice of patience; virya, the practice of fortitude and vigor; dhyana, the practice of meditation; and prajna, the practice of wisdom. Practicing these virtues brings happiness to humankind and peace to our world, so let us live them in our daily lives.
We will now recite the sutra Emme Jiku Kannongyo, which is on your program.
turns the Dharma wheel, and thus reality is shown in all its many forms. All sentient beings are awakened and brought to great peace and joy. Sincerely do we seek the guidance of the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. On this autumn Ohigan service, we have recited the Hanya Shingyo and offered flowers, candlelight, and food. We dedicate the merits of our practices to deceased members and ancestors, to all who are in the past supported our temple, to all victims of terror and wars, to all beings of the Dharma world. From our hearts we pray for peace in our temple, peace in our community, and peace in our world. May all beings be guided by the Buddha's teachings and awaken to deep wisdom, and may we in our wholeness realize the way of the Buddha together.
Today's Dharma message will be given by Reverend Jiko.
Good morning, everyone. Aloha. Thank you so much for being here. And I wish to thank Barb Shoshin for always making beautiful leis. Thank you for this lei, and thank you for the beautiful lei for Bishop Komagata.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I thank Joyce, too. She always provides beautiful leis and the offering flowers for every occasion. So thank you to Joyce Yuko. So, my story today begins with a tree. A tree that's been standing very close to this temple for a number of decades. It's standing at the north corner of Daifukuji. When you go outside, please go and take a look. So I am talking about Daifukuji Soto Mission's Bodhi tree. Are you familiar with Bodhi trees? The historical Buddha Shakyamuni attained a great awakening under a Bodhi tree in what is now Bodh Gaya, India, over 2,500 years ago. Thus, this tree, Ficus religiosa, is called the tree of enlightenment. Since becoming the minister of Daifukuji 21 years ago, I've often looked at that tree and wondered who planted this tree? I wonder when it was planted. This tree has beautiful heart-shaped leaves with long pointed tips, and their leaves are quite elegant. I used one today in the blessing of the Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji sculptures. So Bodhi trees can reach really great heights and spread out their branches in all directions. And so the Daifukuji tree, because it's standing so close to the temple and our handicap ramp and the gutters, our tree has to be pruned back from time to time. In fact, the last pruning was done in July. So if you go out and look at it, It's not so tall and not so full now, but the leaves look very healthy. So only recently has the story of this tree been revealed to me in mysterious and wondrous ways. So in 2013, Deacon Amy, Jikai, and I met a remarkable woman by the name of Dr. Patricia Lee Masters, who was invited to speak at the Hawaii Association of International Buddhist Buddha Day service held at the Kona Honganji Buddhist Temple. In fact, Dr. Masters stayed overnight here at Daifukuji because she came the night before her talk. So Dr. Masters, we called her Pat, now deceased, was a professor of Buddhist studies who had taught in Japan, Sri Lanka, India, and also Hawaii. She was a vibrant woman with tremendous knowledge, full of aloha, and it was Dr. Masters who made an amazing discovery. In 1996, Dr. Masters was teaching in Bodh Gaya, India, when she went to Sarnath for the very first time. Sarnath was the place where the Buddha gave his first teachings in approximately 528 BCE. In Sarnath, Dr. Masters visited the Mula Gandakuti temple, and it was there in the entranceway to the temple that she noticed a marble plaque inscribed with these very words. Right there at the entrance, she saw this big marble plaque. Mula Gandakuti Temple, erected by the Anagarika Dharmapala, founder and general secretary of the Mahabodhi Society, with the generous help of Mrs. Mary Elizabeth Foster of Honolulu and others on the site where Lord Buddha promulgated the teachings 2,500 years ago. Mary Elizabeth Foster of Honolulu. Who was she? Dr. Masters herself had lived in Honolulu for over 40 years and did not know who Mary Elizabeth Foster was. Although the name Foster kind of struck a bell, and she thought, Foster Botanical Garden in Honolulu. So in this book, which we have in our library and also our gift shop downstairs, it's called Searching for Mary Foster, Dr. Masters relates the following. So this is at Sarnath, at the temple. The inner sanctum held a young monk attending to the altar. Startled by my Sri Lankan greeting, Ayubowan, he turned. I explained I was from Honolulu, but was unfamiliar with the Mary Foster from the plaque. And the young monk said to her, Madam, you must be knowing her. She was a wonderful person to whom we Buddhists owe a great deal. The monk's words set Dr. Masters on this fantastic journey to find out who this wonderful Mary Foster was, to whom we Buddhists owe a great deal. Mary Elizabeth Nikahala Robinson Foster. Have you heard of her? Perhaps like Dr. Masters, you've heard of Foster Botanical Gardens in Honolulu, which is located near the Soto Mission of Hawaii on Nuuanu Avenue. I had gone by it many times, yet never had the chance to explore its grounds and huge collection of plants until 2 weeks ago. Had a chance to go to Honolulu for my aunt's funeral, and I asked my family if we could go to Foster Gardens. So this is another picture of Mary Elizabeth Nikahala Foster. So by reading Dr. Masters' book, Searching for Mary Foster, and also listening to some YouTube lectures that she gave on the topic, I have now discovered Mary Foster for myself and now consider her one of Hawaii's remarkable Dharma treasures. In fact, a Dharma treasure to whom I feel I owe a great deal. My mission today is to introduce Mary Elizabeth Foster to all of you and to honor her memory at this time of Ohigan, a time when we remember our departed loved ones and ancestors. Mary Elizabeth Mikahala Robinson Foster was born on September 21st, 1844, and died on December 29, 1930, at the age of 86. During her life of 86 years, she was a Hawaiian philanthropist and known as the first Native Hawaiian Buddhist. She donated her private gardens, the Foster Botanical Garden, to the city of Honolulu upon her passing. She was very good friends with Queen Liliuokalani, who in 1893 was overthrown by American soldiers and imprisoned at Iolani Palace. She was one of the two people who were permitted to visit the Queen during her imprisonment. She had a long and deep friendship with Bishop Emyo Imamura of the Hompa Honganji, and she donated the land for the Hompa Honganji Mission of Hawaii, which now stands along Pali Highway. And if you've seen the Hompa Honganji Mission of Hawaii, you'll see that it is a magnificent Buddhist temple. It was this friendship with Bishop Imamura that helped pave the way for Buddhism to be accepted in our land of Hawaii, where it was at first as a religion of Japanese immigrants regarded with suspicion. Mary Foster was a philanthropist who funded scholarships at Kamehameha schools, helped Native Hawaiians who were unable to afford medical care, acquired land for the purpose of enabling Native Hawaiians to live in places that would otherwise have been purchased by foreign investors. Mary Foster is revered by the people of Sri Lanka, India, and Southeast Asia for her generosity and support of Buddhism, as well as for the temples, hospitals, and clinics which were established due to her great generosity. In these places, even today, prayers are offered in gratitude to Mary Foster, and her birthday is celebrated annually. Yet little is known of her here in Hawaii. For this reason, I feel compelled to share her story, especially with Buddhist communities and sanghas here in Hawaii. Mary Elizabeth Mikahala Robinson Foster's father, who founded a large shipbuilding company in Honolulu, was British. Her mother was of French and Hawaiian ancestry from a family that dated back to the Ali'i from Maui and Hawaii Islands, and Mary was very proud of her Hawaiian ancestry. When Mary was 16, she married Thomas R. Foster, who unfortunately died in 1889, leaving her widowed and childless at the age of 45. What was truly remarkable about Mary was that from an early age, she had an interest in religions and spirituality outside the faith in which she was raised. Amazingly, she turned to spirituality after the death of her husband. She invited spiritual teachers from around the world to give talks at her beautiful home in Honolulu. But after her husband died, she found herself in a deep state of depression and emotional pain, caused not only by her husband's passing, but she was also troubled by the treatment that her dear friend, Queen Liliuokalani, and the treatment of the native Hawaiian people, the treatment that they had received. She was introduced to a man named Anagarika Dharmapala. He was a Sri Lankan Buddhist, an activist. So this is an important figure too in Mary Foster's story. So this man, Anagarika Dharmapala of Sri Lanka, was a very devout Buddhist. He had a chance to travel to India. And when he went to Bodh Gaya, the site of the Buddha's great enlightenment, he was so dismayed to see that it was in a state of absolute shambles and neglect. He made it his mission in his life to restore Bodh Gaya as a place of pilgrimage for Buddhists around the world. So, in 1893, he was given an opportunity to speak at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago. He spoke about Bodh Gaya and he put out a plea to all those in attendance saying, if you can help financially to help me restore Bodh Gaya as a place of pilgrimage for Buddhists around the world, I would be most grateful. On his way back to Sri Lanka, his ship docked in Honolulu Harbor. He was connected with Mary Foster. And the two became immediate friends and lifelong friends. Mary Foster boarded the ship that Anagarika Dharmapala was on in Honolulu Harbor. He shared with her his dream to restore the ownership of Mahabodhi Temple to the Buddhists of the world, and thus establishing the Mahabodhi Society, which would restore Bodh Gaya. So it was on this ship that Mary Foster listened to Anagarika Dharmapala tell her about Bodh Gaya. Thus began their lifelong friendship of mutual respect and admiration. It was also on board the ship in Honolulu Harbor that Dharmapala gave Mary Foster some teachings on mindfulness meditation to help her cope with her anger and depression. Thus, Mary Foster encountered the Buddha Dharma and began a meditation practice on board the ship. It's such a remarkable story. If you're interested, you can look for this book, Searching for Mary Foster. Well, I could tell you all about this remarkable friendship, but today I need to bring you back to the Bodhi tree before lunch. So, several years ago, a man named Dr. D. Denver, department head of the Department of Integrative Biology at Oregon State University, stopped by Daifukuji. He was studying the DNA of Bodhi trees throughout the state of Hawaii and wished to collect a sample from our temple's tree. In July of this year, Jasley Crowley, PhD, ethnobiologist studying under Dr. Denver, came to Daifukuji from Kauai and Oahu, where she had been studying the Bodhi trees on those islands. Ms. Crowley confirmed that according to DNA genetics testing results, Daifukuji's Bodhi tree is a propagate clone of the original tree of enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, India. How did this happen? How did a Keiki descendant of the celebrated original Bodhi tree under which the Buddha attained enlightenment come to Hawaii and to Daifukuji? It turns out that as an expression of his profound gratitude to Mary Foster, thanking her for her generosity and deep friendship, Anagarika Dharmapala had a cutting from the Bodhi tree in Sri Lanka, which was a descendant of the original Bodhi tree, shipped to Mary Foster, who had it planted in her garden in Honolulu in 1913. After this tree in Foster Gardens was established, and it is still there today, standing magnificently near the garden's entrance, cuttings from the tree in Foster Garden were given to many Buddhist temples in Hawaii. So here is Amy standing under the magnificent Bodhi tree at Foster Gardens in Honolulu. I took this 2 weeks ago. It's a really magnificent tree. So, no one remembers when the cutting was brought to Daifukuji. But fortunately, the plant took root in Kona's rocky lava soil and grew until it towered over the temple, and we had to have it pruned back. But looking at its trunk, Jasly said she estimates our tree to be about 60 years old. And that's sort of my guess. I guess that around the time of the late Bishop Matsuda, who had served our temple, I kind of thought it was around that time the Bodhi trees were brought to different temples in Hawaii. So the web of connections that hold us together on this planet are infinite. Daifukuji's Bodhi tree directly connects Daifukuji and all of us to Mary Elizabeth Mikahala Robinson Foster, to Anagarika Dharmapala of Sri Lanka, whose vision became a reality after his death because of how Bodhgaya has been restored. This tree also connects us to the Buddha. For 2,500 years ago, a tree provided shelter and shade for a seeker of the truth named Siddhartha Gautama. It was this tree that witnessed his great enlightenment under her branches. And today, a descendant stands on our grounds, connecting us always to the Buddha Shakyamuni. We are all intimately connected in ways we cannot even imagine. People we have never met, trees, animals, the earth herself, the planets and stars, are all our relatives, all our ancestors, all part of the great story we call life. If only we can awaken to this truth, life on this planet would be different from what it is today. So in closing, thank you for listening to the long story. I share with you a plaque that's going to be placed at the foot of our Bodhi tree. And thanks to Barb Shoshin, who ordered it for us. And the wording, this wording on the plaque was provided by Jasly Crowley, the biologist. The Buddha attained enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree, Ficus religiosa, more than 2 millennia ago in what is now Bodhgaya, India. Gifting propagative cuttings from the exact tree of enlightenment to Buddhist temples is a tradition that began hundreds of years ago and has continued to this day. According to oral histories and now reinforced by genetic testing, there is evidence that this tree is a propagate clone of that original tree of enlightenment. So, Warren is going to build a stand for us for this plaque under our Bodhi tree. So, once it is up, please go and visit the tree. So thank you for listening to today's long talk. But, I feel it's so important that we Buddhists here in Hawaii know who Mary Mikahala Robinson Foster is. We do owe her a great deal. So, thank you. Namukie Butsu, Namukie Ho, Namukie So. We take refuge in the Buddha. We take refuge in the Dharma. We take refuge in the Sangha. Namushakamani.
Thank you very much, Reverend Jiko. Let us now recite the Madhavavana, which is on your program. We surround all people and all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Particularly do we send out compassionate thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to those in doubt and ignorance, to all who are striving to attain truth, and to those whose feet are standing close to the great change we call death. We send forth oceans of wisdom, mercy, and love. Please rise, if able, for the singing of the Gatha, Buddha Embraces All. The words are on the back of your program and can also be found on page 155 of the Green Sutra. Thank you for your attendance today.